Natural yogurt on the side, maybe, I don't know.
We have got natural yogurt.
Yeah, I was just reading through your menu, yeah.
So we're going to make, so would you like one of these?
Oh, yes, please.
A little, that's okay, I'll save it for later. So today we're going to do a vegetarian dish, and it's going to be a chickpea and mushroom curry. So my name's Farah. I'm going to do this cooking session with you. Any questions, please don't be afraid to ask. For extra nutrition, because I'm a nutritionist, we're going to put in some spinach. Yeah, it's always quite nice, actually. It's quite nice with a curry. It's just to add it in the end, and I'll show you how to add it in the end without, yeah, just add it in the end, chuck it in, and I'll show you how to do it. So the first thing we're going to do is just chop some more vegetables, just leftover mushrooms over there. So we've got mushrooms, and I'm going to use fresh tomatoes. So on the menu, it says fresh tomatoes, tin tomatoes, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which are fine, which are great to use. So we're going to use those. We're not going to use those. We're going to use fresh tomatoes, and we're going to use some passata.
Suppose salad tomatoes or cherry.
Yeah, they're just the small tomatoes. They cook nice and quickly, so they're just cherry tomatoes.
Nice.
They're still selling them in the supermarket, and I thought, oh, it'd be nicer than a tin tomato.
Yeah.
Don't you think? Again, it's just extra stuff, extra nutrients in our dish. So this thing is terribly slow. So I'm going to let it heat up. So when that's cooking, we're going to make the raita as well, which is the yogurt and the cucumber.
Yeah.
Is that okay with everyone?
Yeah.
Yeah, no one has a problem with a full fat Greek yogurt?
No.
Lovely. And anyone have a problem with cucumber?
No.
Because I know sometimes it can repeat, can't it?
Yeah.
So what sort of dishes have you done before? Have you done any dishes?
Done the microwave now, so.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Have you got cooking facilities here? Or?
Yeah, I've got they're all self-contained flats.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
So when you want to make a curry or something, you just actually need to invite everyone, don't you? Everybody could be able to smell it, don't they? So what sort of things would you normally cook?
I like curries and chili.
Oh, that's good,
Yeah.
bonus.
Most of the foods you can sort of like cook them fairly cheaply. You can do about 4 portions and freeze them. So you only use your energy for once when you've got a meal over the week for the next month.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly, you're exactly right. So batch cooking is one of the things that we do encourage people to do. Chili, curry is a really good one to
You
batch
use
cook.
cheaper cuts of meat with curry, so you can use the red meat, not turkey. Or
Yeah, exactly.
So
Exactly.
it's more economical.
Yeah.
And curry, you can do vegetables like butternut squash curry.
Yeah, all sorts.
Yeah,
Lentils and
Anything. I mean, I would chuck anything in. I use a soup maker as well and do it in that.
everything. Perfect.
Chicken and rice soup, which is
Oh, yeah,
really
that
like
sounds
almost
nice.
like a meal. Well, it is a meal.
Yeah, chicken soup's very nutritious as well,
Yeah.
isn't it?
So what oil are you using?
So I'm actually using some olive oil.
Extra virgin.
Yeah, and this one is from Aldi. And people have this thing that, oh, maybe it's too expensive. This one was under £2,
Yeah.
under £3. So again, and
Yeah. It's reasonable.
yeah, it's really
And
reasonable.
it lasts ages, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And really sort of, you know, it should be. Oh, that's it. We've just started recording, so we're making a mushroom and chickpea curry. So I've chopped my onions. I'm just going to use, so just imagine I've got a teaspoon in my hand, so I'm just going to use a teaspoon. Now the thing with olive oil is it heats up to a nice hot temperature without causing any problems.
Yeah.
So there's no problems with heating this up to a nice hot temperature. So my onions are nice and finely sliced. Can you see I've got all this stuff in front of you? Just come up close if you want to see.
Do you put garlic in the curry? Yeah, I was going to say, yeah.
What I put in my curry is garlic and ginger, but because I'm always a bit cautious about some of the quite warm spices, I didn't bring any ginger, but I do like a little bit of grated ginger in there and fresh garlic. But today I'm going to be using the garlic granules only because it might be easier to use. I mean, I'm just thinking about chopping and grating.
Yeah.
So it depends on your dexterity if you're able to sort of grate really fine or chop really fine. But the granule garlic, It's okay.
Yeah.
And then you also get powdered ginger, don't you?
You can actually get frozen garlic now, which is.
Yeah, you can.
I've always had some of that in the freezer.
Yeah, and that's pretty good, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's almost like the fresh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Garlic
Yeah.
paste. That's
Yeah.
got so many
Yeah.
options, haven't we?
Yeah.
And you can even buy chopped onions, can't you?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, and already frozen as well.
Yeah, okay. So you've got all these options, so you can reduce your waste by just buying sort of frozen veggies, just taking what you need, can't you?
Yeah.
So I'm going to put the lid on here. I hope I put the lid. There it is.
Do you use tin chickpeas or dry?
I'm using tin chickpeas. The only reason because with the dried ones, you've got to soak them at least for 3 days, and then you've got to boil them. So there's nothing wrong with the tin chickpeas. I've got a couple of tin chickpeas in here. Does anyone eat many lentils? Do we eat many lentils or beans?
Yeah, I
or-
always put lentils and casseroles and stuff.
Yeah.
To thicken it naturally rather than using corn flour.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a good
And
thickener,
protein as well.
very high in protein, and a good alternative to meat. So if you've been advised to stop eating, to eat less red meat,
Yeah.
chickpeas are a very good alternative.
It's cheaper as well.
Well, yeah, I mean, 50p for a tin.
Yeah.
You can't really complain, can you? And with the cost of living and all the rest of
Well, I
it.
used to find with the kids, if you did tell them there's things like that in it, and don't you just do, but you put lentils in or blah blah. I just haven't got a clue. I need to tell you it's like spinach and green vegetables. I put those in as
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing, isn't it? Sometimes, it's the thought of it. Like, oh, I don't like
My
that.
daughter was very visual and textural because she wouldn't eat tomatoes because they're slimy.
Which is what a lot of people don't.
You know, but she never actually tried them because she just used to look at them and think, oh,
Don't fancy those.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we have this a lot. People just look at them and think, oh, I don't. Yeah. Right, now we need a degree in engineering. Okay. So I'm going to use a very mild curry powder. So if you're really good cook and you really enjoy it, you've got all the spices, then you can make your own spice mix up. But with this one, again, just a nice, rich, mellow, nice and mild, so it's not going to cause any problems. Curry paste. So my onions are cooking, and I tend to put my spices in just as this is cooking. So you want to make sure that the heat isn't burning anything. You don't want to burn the spices. The whole place is going to smell of fried onions, isn't it? We're going to just give them a wee bit longer. So would you sort of have lunch together or?
No, we're all self-contained. I'll be able to see each other.
Oh, really?
In here on certain
On,
days.
on when you have
We've got our
activities?
own. So quite a lot of people that live here that work.
Oh,
So that's why
okay.
there's not that many,
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, because you can be just over 55 to get a place here.
Oh, not long then.
No.
That's good. Oh,
It's not like a real, homeless search.
Sorry?
It's not like a real old care home. It's
residential, is it?
it's just called independent living.
Oh, okay. Okay. So this is, you have to excuse me, it's the first time I've been to. So, okay, my onions, I'm going to use about, what does it say on the menu? On how much?
Curry paste,
1 tablespoon.
1 to 2 tablespoons of curry powder.
1 to 2. So that's quite significant, isn't it? Should I put in 2?
Yeah.
Yeah, is that okay with everyone? Is everything
Yeah.
okay? Some, yeah, so I'm going to put in.
I would put it in.
Yeah, that's 1. And that's 2.
I like the measuring systems.
Yeah, mine, yeah. Years of being able to cook. So you can see that it's starting to stick at the bottom. If it does stick at the bottom, the best thing to do, I'm actually going to just add a few tomatoes. Because you've got liquid in the tomatoes, that'll stop it from sticking. I'm going to add a bit of garlic and a drop of water as well. And just let that steam through. And that will stop the curry powder from burning, and it will help it cook a little bit as well. So that's that, and then you're going to let that cook for a few minutes. It's always a good idea to let your spices cook out. Otherwise, you get that sort of grainy taste in your mouth. So I think the thing is, it's just take it slow. Now make sure
Can you
everything's
freeze
cooked.
this dish?
Sorry?
Can you freeze this dish?
Yes. Yes. Most stews and the curry types you can kind of freeze, can't you?
Yeah.
So it's a good batch cooking recipe. So I'm just going to chop my mushrooms up. Is it? Well, good job because I've got some for you. So I'm just going to quarter my mushrooms, not making them too big. Does everybody use the stalk on their mushrooms?
Do if they've been washed in
Yeah.
hot salted water, yeah.
Oh, okay. So these are washed.
Yeah.
I tend to keep the stalk on. Some people take it off.
Yeah, I used to take it off, but I thought, no, as long as they're washed.
Yeah,
What about the
exactly.
skin?
Sorry?
What about the skin?
I leave the skin on as well. So I only take the skin off if it's looking a bit sort of, it's been sat around for a little while.
Get a bit dried up.
Yeah, then if it's, yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
It's a little
get a
bit
bit
dried
dry,
up.
yeah.
But I take the stalk off and then I just peel the skin off. But most of the time, we've got to remember there's a lot of nutrients in the skin as well. So we don't, and you know, unless it's been sat in the fridge for a while and it just looks a bit dry and a bit sad, just to sort of, because you don't want to chuck it away if it's not really that old, really. Yeah, so it's good. So these are field mushrooms, but any mushrooms will do. The button mushrooms, the really small ones, so you don't have to chop them up. They're great. Mushrooms are a really good vegetable. You know, they recommend for sort of good cognitive function, and this is across the board, any mushroom. They reckon about 2 portions a week will keep your brain functioning well. We all need a healthy brain. So 2 portions a week. So it doesn't have to be curry. Mushrooms and toast for breakfast is a very nice one. Yeah, stuffed mushrooms. I did think about doing a stuffed mushroom, but it's really impossible. Stuffed mushrooms, lovely, like stuffed what are they called? Portobello mushrooms, really nice.
Is it okay with the fryer?
Oh gosh, yeah. 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 I mean, how often would you have a fryer?
No, I'm just joking.
Well, mushrooms are really nice for breakfast. Mushrooms on toast, grilled or in the pan.
Because I grill my mushrooms, I grill my bacon and make scrambled eggs rather than frying oil, and it's still pretty much the same sort of thing.
Yeah.
You know, but you just cutting out some of the fat.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly.
There's just fat of the bacon, so that when you cook it,
there's not so much fat there.
Yeah.
I do a lot of my cooking in the air fryer now.
And how are you finding that?
Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
They are brilliant.
Hot chicken
They're really
as well.
brilliant.
I only do chicken nuggets in an air fryer.
Do you know?
Yeah.
I've got a towel one, so I've got the shelves and I've got the rotisserie thing for a chicken.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
posh.
It was really good. It's a towel one, and it was 200. I got it for 100 about 3 months ago. And I never stopped using it. Do bacon, sausage, all that. Roast potatoes, brilliant in it.
Oh, I really need to look into that.
Yeah, you need to sort of read up because I've just been realising I've been doing something wrong as well. But yeah.
And my curry powder is cooked out. My tomatoes are still whole. A bit of stirrer. So I'm going to add in my mushrooms. Hopefully everything fits into my pot. I always do this.
Yeah.
I know my pot's not big enough.
Because it melts down, doesn't it? That's the trouble.
Sorry?
It goes down, doesn't it?
It does shrink, yeah. So I've added in my, so pretty much once your curry powder has cooked out a little bit, and this is the point that you'd add in fresh ginger or fresh garlic if you wanted it. I'm going to add in my mushrooms and my chickpeas. And does that smell nice?
Yeah, it smells nice.
Good. And that's part of it, isn't it? Sort of cooking.
Yeah.
The cooking and the smells get all your old taste buds going, don't they? And that's part of
I
it as
think if
well.
you've been unwell and your appetite's gone up, but sometimes when you cook something nice, it can help you.
Yeah, exactly. One of your favourites, you know,
Yeah,
and it's always
so-
good, yeah.
It's always better somebody else cooking.
Very true,
Yeah, I
very
definitely
true.
smell a bit
I
more.
don't have that problem, you know, I don't have anyone else cooking for me. So I've just mixed it nicely in, and I'm going to try and squeeze as many of these chickpeas in as possible. We have takeaway containers, so if anyone wants to taste it here and also take it home, that is absolutely fine.
So them small tomatoes then, they're not, you're not purposely smashing them down.
No,
just
no,
gonna
I
try and
think-
keep them whole.
Yeah, I think so it said, what does it say here? It says here, cook for 10 minutes, cover and cook for 10 minutes. I'll probably cook it for a little bit longer than
Yeah.
that. And when it's cooking, the tomatoes will break down anyway.
Yeah, they could do, yeah.
And yeah, I quite like my vegetables whole.
Yeah, and there, it's like when people, you know, they do these soups and they put them in with that soup thingy. Yeah, it is nice to have it smooth soup, but it's nice to have tomato soup as well.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on what your preference
Yeah.
is, you know, so everybody has this like different preference. But yeah, my tomatoes are whole, my tomato mushrooms are cut quite small, but you can have whole button mushrooms in there,
Yeah.
just chuck them in. Again, they don't take too long to
No.
cook. So there's nothing in here that you need to worry about, is there? There's no meat. You need to make sure it's cooked. Your chickpeas are already cooked. It's nice, but if the longer you cook the curry, the softer your chickpeas will be. So it depends, you know, how soft you like your chickpeas. But I'm going to give that. Oh.
Hello, there's a question. We've got a question.
Yes.
And I tried to answer it, but I think you'll answer it better than me. Any alternatives to mushrooms? Not many of residents at Norfolk House eat them.
Yeah, well, you can add in, it depends, you can add in any vegetable really, or if you prefer a vegetarian option, you can add in tofu, is a good alternative to mushrooms. You can add in, because we're going to add spinach at the end as well. So you can, if you really don't like mushrooms, you can just take them out. You can add in carrots instead if you like, or
would you put mango in it? I don't know. I don't like.
There's mango chutney in here, and the reason I don't add it in is because you don't need to.
No.
There's no need for it.
It's like Mediterranean vegetables like courgettes and aubergine.
You could add courgettes. Yeah, there's a good example there. Thank you. Courgette or aubergine.
Squash ice cream.
Yeah, butternut squash is also a good one. The thing with the butternut squash is it takes longer than the 10 minutes that it says it on this recipe. So we've just been mindful because it does say 10 minutes. And if you want a quick meal, so something that's quick, well, courgettes would be fairly quick, or tofu, or just completely miss it out altogether and just add in a bag of spinach at the end. Is that okay? Right, I hate that internet. Right, that is not doing anything, so I'm just going to put the lid on. Get some water. So I'm just going to bring the water up to the boil if it ever gets there. This is the highest heat. And I'm barely covering it. Yeah, so I'm not really covering it that much, so you can still see the water there. Can you see that? Barely covering it. And while that's cooking, I'm going to make some raita. Oh, I didn't add any wine. That should go in about now, actually, as well.
Is that just the same as a tin of tomatoes, but it's more pureed down?
Yeah, it's more mashed up.
Yeah, I do use it, but I just consume it.
Again, you know, it's just preference, really, and it's good to try some new things. I mean, you know, I've used whole tomatoes and passata, but a tin of tomatoes is fine.
Yeah.
You know, it's quite nice to have fresh veg, extra fresh veg in it.
Yeah.
It's a lovely red colour. And how often would you eat things like rice?
Twice a week, right?
Yeah. Brown or white? Hello.
Hello.
Brown or white?
I go for white, but obviously brown's better, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just it's less refined, basically.
Yeah, like bread.
Yeah, it's got fibre in it, which helps with your bowel movements and all the rest of it. Hello. Do you want to sign your name down just to let us know that you were here?
Is basmati rice, or is that better than just plain rice?
So basmati, yeah, it's got particular. I can't remember off the top of my head. It's got a particular component in it. It's
Yeah.
good for you, but I can't remember.
Yeah, but it's something there. Yeah.
So I got these.
Yeah, they're good, aren't they?
Yeah. And they do, I tell you, they're great because they do, we've got basmati rice here.
Yeah.
So they do it in a little packet.
I know.
And all you have to be saying
Yeah, I found them really cheap from Aldi.
They are really
39p.
cheap. Yeah. And I just think they're really handy.
Yeah.
They're saving energy.
Yeah. And the times that I've done a saucepan of rice, absolute rubbish. Yeah, you kept it, even the boy in the bag have got it wrong.
So we've got little bags of rice. Do you eat
Don't
rice?
know.
Yeah. Yes, we've got these little bags of rice. They've got different amounts in it. They're pretty good
Would you?
actually.
So I'm not, you know.
And yeah, I tend not to put them in the microwave, but we can just heat them up in a pan.
What,
If you've got,
you wouldn't put that in a microwave?
yeah, you do. That's what it is.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah.
Yeah, will you try some?
Yeah.
You've got these, so we've almost finished our curry.
This is for the
Nice
taste of you,
quick one,
look.
yeah.
Curry first, anyway. This is a korma.
Sorry? It's very mild. It's very mild, yeah. I'm always very cautious about. So I've got a cucumber. Would you peel your cucumber if you were making a raita, yogurt dip?
Well, I would know, people, it just.
Yeah, I mean, I
repeats
tend not to either.
Yeah.
Tend not to either. So I've
Because
got-
obviously the green on the outside's good for you, isn't it? It's got to be.
Yeah, so
but-
again, it's the same with anything, isn't it? Anything that's if you leave the skin on,
Yeah.
a lot of nutrients are in the skin, a lot of nutrients just under the skin, and also the skin on all fruit and vegetable, pretty much, I would say, has got a huge amount of fibre in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If
So
I make
we,
a cheese in your sandwich, I always take the outer skin on it.
oh, so you do peel it?
I do, yeah,
Yeah. Does it repeat on you? Does it?
Yes, yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. Have I got? So I peel this because we don't want anyone to be uncomfortable.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. Okay, so I'm gonna just pull this up, and I've got, again, like I said, I've got whole fat. I'm gonna do half, I think. Yeah, I know it doesn't agree with some people.
Yeah.
Do you know why that is? Is there other things that?
No, I'm the same with ice cream. Repeats on me as well.
Really?
Yeah.
I wonder what it is.
Yeah.
And what about courgettes? Can you eat courgettes without it repeating on you?
Yeah, it just seems to be cucumber or ice cream, you know.
Yeah.
Just those two things.
So some people grate it, which is fine, but I quite like my cucumbers to be a little bit chunky.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm gonna use a whole cucumber. I'm just gonna, again, it depends on what it might be easier to grate it. So just cut it into pieces, and I'm just slicing it again. I'm gonna chop it up, and I need to go and get my container. Yogurt's a good one, isn't it? Hello. So have you seen some of the other videos that have been broadcasted? Any of the other cooking videos that perhaps Lorraine has done? No, there's quite a few of them.
Yes.
What, Lorraine Kelly?
See the one of the,
Yeah. This morning.
does she cook on her show?
Yeah, she does. She probably has got some programs sometimes.
But can you see they're quite small little dice?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone can actually see me other than you.
Do you ever put turmeric in your food? Because they always say that you should have a teaspoon of it every day or try and put it in somewhere. Is it turmeric?
Yeah.
Arthritis, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's got good anti-inflammatory
Yeah.
properties.
Yeah.
Should we see if it's in here?
Probably.
Yes, probably is.
Oh,
available.
that's nice. So what have we got in here? Mustard. Has anyone got any allergies? That should have been a good first.
Yeah, you asked us when this got, but you don't need.
Okay, that's good. So it's got coriander seeds, ground pepper. That's funny. It hasn't. Oh, it has got turmeric in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah. Yeah. So turmeric, yes, has
Yeah.
got anti-inflammatory properties, and it's one of the spices that is really quite. It's had a lot of investigation, so a lot of studies
Yeah.
around it, and this has been going on for quite a number of years. And yeah, I think people are benefiting from
Yeah.
it. You know, so if you have got achy joints or anything, yeah, and even if you know, if you've injured yourself, it's quite good for.
Yeah, healing, I suppose,
Yeah, yeah, so it sort of draws out all the sort of stuff that you don't want that's causing the pain. Do you take it?
I actually take a supplement of it every day in a tablet.
Oh, do you?
I do
Okay.
it in food when I'm doing a curry.
So one of the things about, I did wash my hands. One of the things about turmeric is that you it should be with pepper, black pepper.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so if you're, just check your capsules to make, because the black pepper will take it into you,
Yeah.
so it'll help it absorb. You know, so that's one of the things. So if you're having it in your food, or so if you've got a teaspoon of turmeric, make sure you put some pepper in.
Yeah,
as
I
well.
always put black pepper on
Yeah,
food anyway.
yeah, so it's always a good idea. I mean, yeah, there's some in there, but it stains, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah,
Quite-
it does. Yeah.
Have you ever tried the fresh one?
No, but
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah, that stains everything. This is at its highest. Okay, so I've got my cucumber in here. If I was using fresh garlic, I would mash that up or grate it and put it in here as well.
Yeah.
You know, so raw garlic can be quite strong, but just a small amount. And I'm going to add some Greek yogurt in. It's lovely and thick. Can you see how thick
Yeah.
it is? It's full fat. Nothing wrong with full fat. Tastes nicer, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just going to mix it around. I'm terribly disorganised, aren't I? Have we got a spoon in here?
Yeah, and that cup in front of you in the bottom of the cupboard.
No. Lovely, thank you very much. There we are, and that is pretty much it. You can add some salt, you can add some herbs. Like I said, I'm going to add a little bit of garlic. Just for flavour. A little bit. I tend not to add too much salt into my food, you know, but it's one thing that can be added afterwards, can't it? So you can see it's a nice thick dip to go alongside our curry, if it ever cooks. That is always the thing, isn't it? Yeah, it's doing something. So I'll give that, well, definitely give that a little bit longer. That is pretty much it, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to heat up our rice. Now, I could heat it up in a small pan over there. I think we might do that actually, or we might put it into the microwave. Yeah, so we'll microwave it when this is ready.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we can all have a little taste of it. Is it nearly lunchtime?
Yeah.
Yeah, what's the time today? Okay, so oh gosh, that went quick, didn't it?
Does anybody like bottles of red one?
Oh, I've got one there, but I think I'll just pop them in the microwave. Yeah. Oh, is that quicker? You say? Let's give that a go then. Any questions, anyone?
Obviously, the longer you say you had it the next day, it's hotter again, isn't it? I've got better cream.
Oh, okay, yeah. So when you
Yeah.
have it the next day, what happens is that all the spices.
Yeah, I think it's better sometimes.
Yeah. I personally think it's
yeah.
sometimes better. Sometimes it's a good one to cook in the. Thank you. It's a good one to cook in advance, and like someone said, it's a good one to freeze as well.
Yeah.
But also, if anyone uses a slow cooker at all,
Yeah.
who uses a slow cooker? It's a great one in a slow cooker.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just like any other sort of stew or anything, it's pretty good going in there.
How long would you cook it in a slow cooker for then?
So again, it'll be on a low heat. I would probably do this for about 3 to 4 hours. You know, so you can put it on in the morning or in the afternoon and go and do your activities, and then come back and it'll be lovely and ready and hot. Hotter than that one. Yeah, so it's essentially a stew, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's essentially what it is. Doing something, now that I've switched it off. It's got a mind of its own, isn't it? I think I might just put it back on. This one's taking a while to heat. It's the heating up, isn't it? So I will put my spinach in right at the end.
Yeah.
So just as I'm about to serve it, you know, because again, it's sort of it wilts down, doesn't it? Almost nothing. And if you cook it for too long, you're losing all the, it all falls into the curry anyway, but you want it to be, you don't want it to be too discoloured. It goes a grain colour, doesn't it? So if you're cooking this in a slow cooker, and you're having it for another day, you can add the curry, the spinach in as you're heating it up.
Yeah.
I just thought I'd use this one because it's actually boiling. Yeah, I bought some. Yeah, so it's the same one. Lovely. Any questions? Any more questions? I'm just looking forward to eating it. If it ever cooks. So yeah, no mango curry, mango chutney. It does say it's optional, but yeah, and the thing about adding extra sugar into anything, you can have it on the side. Who likes mango chutney?
Oh,
Yeah. It's all that sugar in it, isn't it? That's what it is. It's so a little blob on the side, or a little blob on top of your yogurt might be quite nice, mightn't it? Just to mix it all in. Okay, lovely. And the good thing about these bags of spinach is that they're already washed as well. They do such huge bags of spinach. I'm going to see if I can squeeze all of this into that. I'm going to do it. What was that, sorry?
It goes to nothing.
Yeah, exactly. It just squeezes down to nothing, doesn't it? So that is, it's doing something, isn't it? There's no salt in this.
No, you didn't put any in, did you? Yeah, but shouldn't you put a little bit of salt
You
in?
could do, yeah. I mean, the salt will help with the flavour of the chickpeas, yes.
Yeah.
And you do need some salt in your diet.
Yeah.
There is no doubt about that. But again, sometimes some of these spice mixes do already have salt in them. Salt.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is another thing that we just need to be mindful of, that if you are buying them, and there's nothing wrong with these spice mixes, they're great. You know, they've come along really well, haven't they? They used to taste really rubbish, but now they've come, and there's always salt in them. So you're double salting, aren't you? You know, so if anyone's got any issues with hypertension or anything like that, you know, you just want to be mindful, don't you? Because salt does make your kidneys work, do all the extra work, doesn't it? Sorry? Yes, so the chickpeas is usually in just water. So brine is salt and water, isn't it? So if you do buy chickpeas with brine in it, you've got salt there, haven't you?
Yeah.
I'm sure I've seen it in brine before.
Yeah, you can get
Like tuna, isn't it? You get
well, yeah, so you can get chickpea in salted water or just in water. So again, when you're buying things, just always quickly check. Yeah, especially if if you've got any certain health dishes and you need to, just always check. Because added salt and added sugar is in quite a lot of stuff that you wouldn't even think it's in.
Tins of tomatoes.
Yeah, tins of tomatoes, salt and sugar.
Yeah.
Is there sugar in this? No, but in a lot of stuff there is. There is no sugar in this or no salt in this. It's just, and that's another thing. Sometimes even plain yogurt will have sugar and salt in it. So it's all these hidden little bits, isn't it? And if you're having a couple of little bits, which is fine throughout the day, it just adds up, doesn't it? And then you're adding salt in extra. It just does all add up, doesn't it? Giving that poor kidney all that extra work. Plus all the teas and coffees that you lot might drink. Okay, oh wow, it's boiling, thank goodness for that. My tomatoes, if you want to have a look, my tomatoes are actually mashing down. Hello? My tomatoes are actually, you can see that, they're sort of disappearing.
Hello?
I would have liked to put my onions a little bit longer, but I think time. Okay. So can you see, you can see it boiling over there. Okay. So we're making, we have already made chickpea and mushroom curry. Is that okay? Will you eat some? Will you eat some chickpea and mushroom curry? No? Can you hear me?
Cindy. I think she's asking.
Cindy, will you eat some chickpea and mushroom curry? Chickpea and mushroom curry.
I think with me, there's no problem.
Oh, great. So we've just made one, we've got a recipe card, we'll actually give you a recipe card, just in case you fancy making it at home. Made this just now.
Do you know, like naan breads, I suppose they've got salt and stuff, you know, when you get ready-made naan breads, 'cause I do like a naan bread, my go.
I like an naan bread, yeah. Yeah, they will have, yeah. So
But
it's
not,
like,
well, it's not too much, is it?
no, and again, you know, if you sort of, it's almost impossible to avoid, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sometimes? So don't sort of become obsessed by it, but just be mindful of it, you know, just be aware that actually, there might be all this additional salt in all the extra. And the problem is that it's so small that you can't even read it, can you?
No.
You know, it's like,
I'm like that.
yeah, you're like this, and, it's sort of, and you go a bit cross-eyed, don't you? So let's have a look at the ingredients in here. Can't see it. But this should be just rice, shouldn't it? Does everyone have a microwave in there?
Yeah.
You're all pretty, yeah. So it's just that I don't have a microwave, so when I have bought this in the past, I've just popped it into a pot, and it's been fine. Just a little bit of water, and you just heat it up that way. So
Not believe in microwave. Some people don't. Do they?
no, I'm not particularly a fan of microwave. Yeah, so I know they're really convenient, and sometimes I think when I've got leftovers, especially when I've got you know, or I'm trying to heat something up and I have to put the gas on, especially now, and I have to turn the heating of the gas on to heat it up.
Yeah.
Maybe I should have had a microwave.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to sort of, yeah. But then you've got people scrambling eggs and putting them in the microwave and stuff like that and stinking the whole house out. So there's oh look, this is boiling nice. So it's nicely boiling. I'm gonna let that do its thing for a couple of minutes. I'm gonna do I am actually going to do the microwave in the rice in the microwave. Do I need to open the packet?
Just, yeah.
Take the time where there's
Just a little, yeah, that's it.
So there's 2, 4. Are you having
Not
something
for
to
me.
eat? None for you. Okay. Are you having something to eat?
No.
No. So 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Would you like? So we'll just heat both packets up, then, shall we?
Go for it.
Yeah. Let's just go. What does it say? 2 minutes.
Yeah, I don't use it. Yeah, you did. Yeah. Like that. Oh.
It's hard one, isn't it? Especially if you're cooking for yourself, it can get a little bit, yeah, can't it? And
Yeah.
So that's why batch cooking and things like this are kind of good, aren't they? So,
Because you need a big freezer then.
yeah, you kind of do. But something like this will keep in the fridge for a good, at least 3 days. Which is no problem with it at all.
Nobody, you know, or anything.
Yeah, so if you cook it, let's say on Tuesday, it'll be fine for Friday as well.
Yeah.
You know.
It's really good to look at 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, most sort of stew dishes will keep for a good few days in the fridge. So you might, you know, if you just cook twice a week and both of them are batch cooking, then you've got at least enough food for sort of, you know, 4 days. You know. Do you ever share cooking or do you?
No.
So do your own thing, do you? You're quite antisocial.
Not as bad as that.
So how many people live here, then?
There's 25 flats.
Okay.
25 is that?
35.
35, yeah, but like I say,
Not many come in there.
yeah, because there's people that go to work that busy.
Yeah.
I mean, I was working not long ago, a couple of months ago. So yeah, it's what do you call it? It's not independent living, it's sheltered housing.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, is it?
Okay.
It's not very well attended.
Oh, the coffee morning isn't either, is it not? Oh, okay.
What the coffee mornings what?
Not well attended.
I'm not really out of that. I've got my phone.
So I'm going to give this a little taste. Otherwise, you know, I don't want to sort of.
Yeah, might get into that. She normally comes down and sits up. Yeah, she's been away there.
That's fine. I might want some salt. So literally, I'm going to turn this off. And wine is still really hot, so this is already washed and ready to eat. Always check that the spinach is washed. Now they never used to wash spinach, did they, and put it in the bag? Actually, the stuff's washed and it's ready to go. And it's usually fine. So I'm just going to grab a couple of handfuls and pop that in and stir it around. Put all that heat in there, which will wilt our spinach down. Yeah, while the rice is cooking, you can wilt your spinach. Yeah, I'm going to manage to throw it all in. And it looks really fresh actually with the spinach.
Yeah, it's a show.
Looks lovely and fresh. It was quite healthy. You're not averted to healthy food. I didn't realise that this curry is going to be this quick. Which is great. It's what you want, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
So you've got this cooking time now, you just get it cost of it.
Yeah, exactly. So there was a recipe for a ragu. You know, it looked quite tasty, but I did it because I was told somebody was vegetarian, and then it sort of 2 hours cooking. I thought, oh, you know, you don't want to be sort of cooking something for 2 hours. It's just God knows how much.
Meals in the 30 minutes.
Yeah, did you do one for 15 minutes? One for 15
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you tried any of these recipes?
No, I don't cook. So.
Ah, okay.
Just goes out for meals every day.
Do you?
Like lightweight.
What do you eat and what sort of things would you eat?
Chicken tikka masala.
Okay.
Thai with.
Okay, so are they sort of the microwavable ones or just the?
Yeah, it's all the microwave.
Okay.
But I enjoy watching.
Yeah.
People think.
Yeah, please welcome. See, I did manage to squeeze it all in. Just gonna let that wilt down. And I've just tasted it and I realised that actually what I did, so I was cooking double batch of the recipe, and it said 2 tablespoons, didn't it? Of curry powder. And actually I should have probably put 4 in. But there we are.
You put paste in as well, didn't you? Curry paste. Or
No.
Oh, it's one or the other. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. And you put the curry powder in.
I
Yeah.
put the curry powder in.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with curry paste either.
No.
The thing with curry paste is you need to cook it slightly longer in a slightly
Yeah.
different way. So what sort of curry paste? The
I would-
one's in a packet.
No, I normally use curry powder, but I was thinking, well, maybe I'll do the paste in future.
No, sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of the powders, some of the paste rather, are quite nice actually. They're not too bad, but again, you know, some of them have got, and it's usually because they need to be preserved on the shelf. They have got maybe too much salt and sugar in
Yeah,
them.
maybe.
You know, and that is one of the problems, isn't it?
Yeah.
So every now and then it's fine, but something if you eat a curry on a regular, then you know I'll probably stick to this.
Yeah.
You know, there is salt in here, but it's minimal. Aldi are really good actually with some of their ingredients. Have you got a local Aldi?
You're not far away. You know, it's a bush ride away.
Yeah.
It's a bush ride.
Do you cook much at home? Do you cook?
Yeah,
What would you cook normally?
I cook my African food.
Wow.
Any dishes? Any particular dishes that you any dishes that you make with chickpeas or lentils?
I think I can't share it in here.
Why not?
That'll kill you.
Because what I eat is most of people don't eat.
Don't eat it.
Yeah.
You can share it with me though. We'll pretend they're not here. We'll pretend they're not here. What sort of things would you eat normally?
In Africa.
Well, here. What would you cook for yourself here?
Oh, yeah. Rice,
Okay.
chicken, vegetables.
That's what you're gonna tell me, isn't it?
That is my most.
Yeah.
What's
Yeah,
Zimbabwe
so-
style?
Sorry?
Zimbabwe style.
Oh, you're from Zimbabwe, okay. And what sort of spices would you normally use? So in this curry, we've got things like turmeric you mentioned, we've got garlic. You know, what sort of spices would be?
I think it's spices we are the same, only those that are chili. I don't like.
Okay, so you don't like too much chili. But you have things like turmeric in your cooking, and I know there's a lot of paprika and stuff in African cooking. Garlic. Is there paprika in African cooking, like a red pepper?
Yeah, we do have the vegetables in Africa. A lot, some of them we grow.
Okay, do you grow any here?
Yeah, but here we do buy.
Yeah.
She's actually got her own lot.
Ah, I thought you might have. Having your own allotment is one way of actually getting your own food, isn't it? Getting your own vegetables that you like. Have you got an allotment?
I'm a vegetarian mostly.
Okay, yeah, a bit like me then. Do you grow your own vegetables?
Cindy, you have an allotment, right?
Yes.
Yes, you do. So she grows her own.
Great stuff. What do you grow? What do you grow in your allotment?
Mostly I grow maize and vegetables.
Okay. What
Do you
type of
know maize?
vegetables? Yes. Yeah. Do you make your own fufu then? What would you make with your maize?
We cook it when it is
I'm calling on the cover.
still soft.
Yeah. Yeah, maize, yeah, it's a grass, isn't it? Yeah. So it's grain, isn't it? Quite stable, I think. I think our curry is ready. Let's check out our rice. So how do I know? Ow.
You'll know when it's cooked.
That's how I know it's good, because it's hot, isn't it? So what we can do then is perhaps put this into something. I don't know if you've got anything in here.
dishes, don't it? Yeah, I think
Yeah, a little
I think
dish.
most of the dishes are. Yeah, you find dishes under.
Oh, that's tough.
Yeah.
Oh, that's super hot.
Big ginger cat there. Is it a red issue?
I don't know. I've just seen it before. There's some ginger cap in on it. What kind of one?
I think I've never seen it before. Are they still going on with the planning for the houses?
Sorry if I know, yeah. Are they?
What
Still building the houses.
Oh, the houses, yeah, they
Yeah,
are.
I think
Yeah.
normally she
When they're
has
gonna
to
start,
leave
you don't
back
know. Probably this year.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
That was
Lovely. Would you like me to serve you, or would you like to come and help yourselves?
You want to put it on the plate and I'll just flush it out? and then-
Yeah,
You
we
don't
can,
know how
yeah.
much to dish out.
Let's just have a look
So
at
you
it.
don't know how much to dish out.
Oh, you can have all of it.
Yeah. Just have a look at it now.
Do you have some?
Yes, please.
Yeah, yeah, I'll definitely try some. Yeah, something. And you said that's from Aldi?
Yeah.
Mellow curry powder. I like the smell of that.
Yeah, and it's really mild. It's
So if I just
really
put a bit of
mild
rice
curry.
on, yeah?
Yeah, just pop it on. It's a very mild curry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should have actually put double the amount.
Yeah. It's definitely not people like.
Yeah, I think I'm always conscious. Yeah, you could. The longer you cook it, there could be less water. I quite like it when it's got liquid though.
Yeah,
Yeah, remember the spinach adds liquid as well, doesn't it?
yeah, mushrooms.
Yeah. So yeah, exactly, the mushrooms
Yeah.
and the tomatoes. So you've got tomatoes, mushroom, and you can have you can just leave the mushrooms out if you don't like mushrooms. You've got fresh tomatoes, we've got mushrooms, we've got spinach, and we've got chickpea. If you don't like chickpea, you can replace that with another lentil. There's quite a good selection of lentils, isn't there, on the supermarket
Yeah.
shelves these days. And like we said, just be careful when you're buying chickpeas at try and get them in water rather than in brine.
Yeah.
That's a good thing, yeah. Any other questions? Yeah, let's pop them up down there. I think we'll just put, and then you can come and help yourself to some yogurt. It's very hot. So, oven top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want your oven top? I'll just put that beside us.
Yeah. Little taster now. I think it's really nice.
Just a taste, isn't it?
Remember, there's no salt in it.
Yours. Oh, it's
Do you want?
I'll come and get it in a minute.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Bit of everything. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, try a little bit. Yeah. I think I realised I made that error.
Yeah.
Don't you use pepper in these?
You could use pepper.
Yeah.
So I've just used this. So if you want to, again, everybody's taste is very different. It's very difficult making.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can add, if you like it hotter, you can add in more. You can add in your pepper. There is pepper actually in here. Yeah. So
Oh, yeah. I have everything.
yeah, some people like their food more spicy, don't they? I like black pepper. And then sometimes when I make it really peppery, people sort of say, oh, it's
I
really
know.
peppery. So yeah, I think it's a very individual thing, isn't it? But I think, you know, the key thing here is it's a quick dish to cook, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a really quick dish to cook. You can add in whatever you want to it. And it stores. Do you not like it? No, it's fair enough. Some people just don't. Yeah, okay.
Absolutely. I make up about 5
Batches.
batches.
Yeah. I love butternut squash.
I've got a soup maker.
Okay.
Yeah.
And pop it in
It's a
there.
nightmare to cut the butternut squash, but chop it up. Red onion, sweet potato.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very, very good for you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then
Pop it all
it's
in.
really kind of tight. You know, don't leave me in the water. Like,
Most of my family.
just empty the
Yeah.
water out,
Oh, yeah.
then cold water. Again, take that away. And then stick it all.
Sounds lovely. And how often would you have that? 5 days?
The beef and stock cube.
Okay. Which gives it that extra flavour as well, doesn't it?
Oh, it's yeah, it's too.
Is that your favourite dish to cook? Yeah. And how many days a week would you eat? Because we're lucky because we've got loads of butternut squash at the moment, haven't we?
One every lunchtime.
Oh, great. Okay, so it's a good,
Over
good.
5 days.
Yeah. So you'll cook it once.
I'll put 2 in the fridge. I'll put the rest in the freezer.
Okay.
So when I've had the one, then I take one out the freezer and put that in the fridge.
So you've got your batch cooking on with your
Yeah.
soup. Yeah. Soup's a good one to actually batch cook because it's really easy to store. Exactly.
20 minutes. That's
Yeah.
all it takes.
And it's really easy to store, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can even pour it into sort of a bag, can't you? So it doesn't have to be in a container, and it's really easy to get into the freezer. Because that
You
one,
can decide with the soup maker whether you want it to be smooth, completely smooth, or you want it
a bit chunky.
chunky.
Yeah,
Whereas then you could do it yourself.
exactly. You've got your own
You
choice.
can use it automatically, manually,
Yeah.
put the cutter on, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's
Yeah.
clever. Yeah, but eat it, guys. We've got just come and help yourself. And there's rice here. What else make don't have to cook lunch then, do you?
That's true. Do you ever do a masala or a jalfrezi?
Yes.
You do
Yes.
yourself?
Yeah, they're quite hot, aren't they? Jalfrezi. Well, I like.
Yeah, I
them,
like
yeah.
it hot.
Yeah. So my partner doesn't. So he doesn't mind the spice, but he doesn't like the chili.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
No, I
Okay.
do a similar to this, but it's absolutely
Okay.
pasta, mushrooms, tomatoes, with lots of chilli and paprika.
Okay, that sounds lovely.
And it is really nice, but I have it really hot, so like chilli almost wipes me back.
Okay.
Because
Makes
I
you
have-
sweat.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I quite like that.
But it's a very quick and easy thing to do as well.
Yeah, because all the vegetables there
Yeah.
just will cook really quickly.
And you can use, like if you've got a bit of pepper left over, so you can just throw it in and use things up. One of those things you look at the end of what you've got in the fridge and you up.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever you've got left in the fridge. Would you like some more?
No, I won't, but that was lovely, thanks. I'll just go and wash this up. Do you ever do stuffed peppers and stuff?
Yes, we've
Yeah.
got, so there's stuffed pepper. So if you have you got internet in your?
Yeah.
So if you have a look on our website, there's recipes, there's quite a few recipes. So you've got the recipe card, haven't you? We've got a few soups on there as well. And it's the Cooking Good website, and there's recipes on there. If you just fancy having a browse.
Yeah.
There's stuffed mushrooms, there's stuffed peppers on there. There's stuffed vegetable one and a stuffed mushroom. So take a look. There's some videos on there as well.
Yeah, all right, well done. Yeah,
have a
that's
look
lovely.
and there's a few
Yeah,
videos.
Feedback form.
I'll feed
Yes,
that one.
yeah,
Yeah,
before
go
you
on then.
disappear. Did you print some out as well? Pop your name. You don't have to pop your name
Oh, I
on.
don't know.
Is it over 12?
Yeah.
Oh, you like it? How is it? Yeah, good.
She's a vegetarian.
Oh,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
No.
Do you
I
eat?
love Indian food.
Oh, do you? Oh, so we've had a bonus today, so vegetarian and Indian food. Great stuff. I'm glad you can make it in here. I'll leave these here, shall I? A couple here. Do you still go out to your allotment, Cindy?
Sorry.
Do you still go and do work on your allotment?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Chicken fries are the best part.
Yeah. Lovely. Yeah, so I'm gonna fill in a little feedback form. I haven't got any pens.
I'll put some.
And the chickpeas aren't too hard, are they?
No.
Because sometimes you can get them and the longer you cook them, the softer they become, don't they? So what other soups then would you have then? What other things would you eat?
Oh, using air fryer.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
So just a one or two, yeah. They're handy, aren't they, I think? Yeah.
I mean, you need them to like chicken bake or steak bake.
Yeah, just pop it in, so it's like a mini oven. So what you're saying as well?
No, but basically just a small air fryer. I'll probably defrost it in a microwave and then put it in the air fryer and then it's going to take so long to cook it.
Yeah, it doesn't take so long, does it?
No.
But everybody pretty much stopped using their ovens.
20 minutes.
Wow. Yeah, exactly. It's no time at all, is it really? I think a lot of people have stopped using
I
their
mean,
ovens.
that's not, I'm 20 minutes, but when you heat it up, the pan kicks in and just keeps all that heat around
Yeah,
or evenly all over. You know?
that's it, 20 minutes, it's done.
Yeah.
Great stuff. Handy.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, you don't have to tidy up, but let me do that, yeah.
Okay.
So we've got leftovers. Does anyone fancy taking some home? Have some for lunch. I've got containers here.
Well, that sounds good.
Got any more?
Yeah.
Any more? No. Yeah, I've got some.
Yeah.
I've tried chickpeas before.
Oh, so this is a new one for you. Oh, that's good. And you've got your convert then, are you?
How would you take these both hummus with?
Yes.
That's why I wanted to.
Yes.
Never, I have put it in curries back before, but not as a main ingredient.
Ah, okay. So it's a good one to sub. It's a good one if you're thinking about it.
In the microwave.
Sorry.
You heat that, reheat it in the microwave.
Yeah. Would you like some?
No, just say-
Yeah, you can. So you'll keep in the fridge. We just say we can keep in the fridge for about 3 days, and then you can use it under the microwave. Even if you put the rice and, I mean, you can put the yogurt in, but yeah, it'll be fine. So I've already got enough. Would you like some?
I like that. Do you enjoy that?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was lovely. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
informative. Thank you. I'll
Thank
put that there.
Do you tend to use a
yeah. Do you? Yeah, I mean, do you?
See you all.
Bye, bye,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Bye, Sandra. Bye.
Do you? It's quite sweet, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can have some here, but I don't think you really need to. So, just trying to mix it up. So give some for you and some for the song.
Will you try that at home? Try and make it yourself?
So I use the frozen mash as well.
Sorry?
Try and
I
make this
use that
yourself?
frozen mash.
Oh, and what's that like?
You just did the microwave.
Oh,
Yeah.
and it's fine, is
I've
it?
always had the cheese with it.
Yeah, I like cheesy mash. Thank you. Would you like to fill out any feedback form?
Yeah.
Here you go.
You're eating it.
No, no.
No, it isn't. There's some here for you.
Yes, especially me.
Any more for any more? Would you like a little bit more, Cindy?
She didn't know.